How's it going, Dave and Comic Book Investments? So, got some stuff back from CUGC. Figure I'd go through it. Some interesting stuff that I've never showcased on here before because I've never had it. So, I always like doing that kind of stuff and giving a little background. So, let's just dive right into it. No point in waiting around. World's Finest, number 13. These are all backwards, so I have to go backwards now. So, I got this batch, I think it was this batch. This batch, not so good. This batch, really good. So, a little bit of both. This one I thought was a 4.0, got a 6.0. So that makes a huge difference. $800 for this one. This is old Golden Age one. Let's see what we got here. This one is all stained up. I'm like looking at it as I'm like showing you guys. Yeah, it just has like a big stain that goes all the way through to the bottom. I got a 2.0. I always love this. If you guys ever see the back cover of this, it's an ad. It's millions of times. It's so it's called The Ugly Blackheads Out in Seconds. So this thing is basically a little the stuff that they have on there. It's like looks like a little like sucker, and you put it on your blackheads, which I'm assuming are pimples. I've never had them turn black before, but anyways, they go. There's a kid here. This is so funny. He goes, I wonder why we're not popular, sis. And okay, I wonder why we're not popular, sis. And so it has a guy and a girl, and they both have like black stuffs all over their face. And ask your friend Tom. Tom, why don't sis and I get invited to proms and parties? Frankly, Jim, it's those ugly blackheads. Aren't you? And then they use the little sucking thing, and then it goes, aren't you glad we heard about Vacutex, whatever the hell the thing is called? And now they're at like parties, and this party that they're at is they're hanging around a piano. But I guess this was from 1945, so I mean, probably most people didn't have a TV, so, and if you wanted music, you'd have to have a record player, and maybe you did or didn't have one. So I guess you'd hang around the piano and someone knew how to play, and then you got a party with music. So you can get a 10-day trial. 10-day trial. How does that even work? Because back then it would take so long to ship anything. Let's see, shipping. Shipping was to get the thing, it's $1 plus postage. I don't know what postage is back then, but rush coupon. So if you guys wanted to learn about advertising, there you go. So this is the first appearance of Katie King. Wilbur, number 5. Came back great, I thought, $6.29. That's funny. There's also like, you guys ever see the advertisement where they have like live monkeys that you can buy? And guaranteed to be alive. If not, if it shows up dead, we'll give you a new one. They would sell monkeys through the mail. All right, this is a very cool one. These old war comics, very hard to come by, and especially in decent grade. Came back great. I was hoping for $6.99. So, and they get really expensive. Some of these old war comics. All right, we got a Walt Disney Comics, a story number 39. We got a Christmas cover. Thought it'd be 5.0, got a 6.0. $3.99. The Thing, number 17. I have this in a 6.5, so now I have a 7.0. $9.99. I think that's a Steve Ditko cover, actually. So before he went over to Marvel. Tales of Terror, number 1. By Toby Press. $4.99. Wait. Sorry, I looked at the wrong one. Yeah, $4.99. No, I looked at the right one. All right, Tales of Suspense. This is the first time Iron Man got his classic red and gold. He used to be just gray for an episode, and then issue. And then he went from 40 to 47. He was just all gold in a big kind of like, looked like a trash can. And then he got this one. Thought it'd be a 4.0, got a 5.5. So big jump there. 519. It doesn't help too much though. It's kind of low grade to begin with. All right. That's what you look like in all gold. Number 44. That'd be 50. Got a 70. 699. So this is what it is. And then we got this one so this one right here is The Man in the Beehive. Now, if I'm trying to remember correctly, this predates The Man in the Anthill. So this guy here, he shrinks down and he goes into a beehive. And then they redid the story, but with ants. And that was Hank Pym. I don't know what this guy's name is. So basically they had a prototype where they do, and a lot of times this happens. They'll do one story and they're like, because this one came out, what, 62? Let's see. Ant-Man was later than that, I believe. Yeah, he was definitely later than, Ant-Man was definitely later than that. So they'll do a prototype. So they'll do it, maybe, the people that worked on this story or someone liked it and hey, why don't we redo that story but better? It's kind of like if you wrote a song and you're like, oh, I kind of like this song, but what if we just kind of changed the direction of it? So then they made the Man in the Anthill, and that was Hank Pym. And in the first episode, in issue number 27, there's no superhero, nothing. But then in 35, superhero stuff started becoming more popular. And so then they're like, oh, why don't we make a new superhero? Let's call him Ant-Man. He can shrink down to the size of an ant. And we'll just use the guy that we used in issue 27. So this is kind of like a prototype. This is the UK variant. I thought it'd be 4-5, got a 5-0, 329. Tales of Terror number 12. Another Toby Press. $4.99. I just realized this is Tales of Terror, horror. The other one was Tales of Terror, and the other one I thought would be a 1-0, got a 2-0, and that was 229. This one I thought would be 5-0, got a 4-5, this is 499. So I made a mistake on the last one that I did read it wrong. This was Tales from the Crypt. Nothing's not a key issue about this book, but can't be great. I was hoping for $4.99. Superman 66 and a 7-0. I thought it'd be 6-0, got a 7-0, $7.99. So all good news, good stuff there. In case some of you guys were wondering about my dog, he had an MRI. He basically has constrictive myopathy, which is something is constricting his spinal cord along with a slip disc and a myriad of other things. So he's on some steroids right now. We're hoping it will get better, but we're not really sure. He might need surgery. So that is our last option that we're going to do. So we've heard some people suggest some chiropractic work for our dog. So we might try to do that. But that is kind of the prognosis right now, is he's on some steroids. Hopefully it will help a little bit. Not really sure. Basically what it means is when his spinal cord is being constricted by something, unless you get surgery to unconstrict it, which has a myriad of problems to begin with, he will slowly lose the function of his back legs. So he'll become paralyzed. So we don't want that. So yeah, that's kind of like what we're dealing with. $5,000 to do that. But it is what it is. So we're hoping that after these steroids, we'll do a recheck, and he will basically, the doctor, the neurologist will see, they want him doing better or at least the same. And then that's a good sign. The steroids are working. So, and then he'll be on medication for a long time. But let's hope that works. All right. Detective Comics 405. So in case you're wondering, I know some people caught it last week and were asking, so this will be an update. So it really sucks because he's on activity restriction. So literally he could just sleep all day. That's it. So he'll want to play and us take him out and we can't. So that sucks. I don't like doing that. All right. First appearance of the League of Assassins. Yeah, so this is a 9.0. No, I thought this was a 9.0, and it came back 9.4. So this one was good too. $11.99. I had no idea that this book was so expensive. When I was pricing it, I was like, oh, hey, that's nice. This is a Neal Adams cover. No, it wasn't. For some reason, I thought this was a different key. But anyways, thought it'd be 9.2, got 9.2, $7.59. I didn't know this one was that expensive. So, for a non-key, just a Neal Adams cover for 9.2, almost $800. Then we got some Conan here. First appearance of Red Sonja, and thanks for everyone who checked in about my dog. I thought it'd be 9.2, got a 9.4, $6.59. And then what do we got here? Conan 17. Ooh, this is a black cover. So this one was, no, it wasn't this one. Okay, I thought this would be a 9.4, got a 9.4, $2.09. This one is expensive. Another black cover. Huh, that's interesting. Roy Thomas and Gil Kane cameo in a backup story. So they drew themselves. I would 100% do that. 1,000%. If I had a comic book that I made, put myself in there all the time. But not as like the main character. I would be like, yeah, not as a main character. Not like Velma and whatever that girl's name is, Mindy something. The girl from The Office. That's all I know her from. Kaylee or something. Kelly. That's what her name was in The Office. I like The Office. The Office was good. Good show. I think once Michael Scott left, wasn't nearly as good. It definitely started dropping off. Here is an interesting fact, because I know you guys like to come here to have interesting facts. So, there's a thing in TV, and I could be 100% wrong, but this is what I have learned. It's called jumping the shark. So jumping the shark means where there's ever a TV show that you have and it's getting better and better and better, and then all of a sudden a certain episode or a certain season, that's their peak, and then it just starts going downhill. That's called jumping the shark, because there's some TV show, I'm sure someone out there will explain in the comments, some TV show out there where the main character had to jump over a shark or something. I have no idea. And that was like basically after that episode, whatever series that was, it just started going downhill. New writers, whatever the hell was going on, I don't know. So that's called jumping the shark, when basically a series has peaked and gone down. Now, what is the reverse? What about when a show starts to get good? That is called a Riker's beard. Aha. The reason why it's called a Riker's beard is because Star Trek: The Next Generation, season 1 was no good. You can tell. The writing wasn't very good. But come season 2, Jonathan Frakes, or whatever his name is, I think I'm saying his last name wrong, but Jonathan Frakes, there's a writer strike between season 1 and season 2, so he had nothing to do. So because there's writer strikes, no one's making any movies, TV shows, or anything. So he grew out a beard. He comes to the table reading for season 2, and he had a beard. And then the director or producer or something like that was like, "Oh, I like your beard. Let's keep it." So now he had the beard. And then people attribute the second series is right when Star Trek Next Generation started getting good, and they started doing their own thing, because season 1, they're kind of rehashing the old Star Trek stories and things like that. So they didn't really have their own footing, and it's definitely different. I was watching it. Definitely very different from season 2 on. I've just been, I don't know, I've been getting more into Star Trek Next Generation. Even though I've already seen most of them, I'm like rewatching a lot of the stuff. Anyways. But yeah, it's called the Riker's beard, because basically they attribute it, once the show starts getting good, is because Riker got a beard. So they say that in, I guess, the movie, TV show business. So now you know some knowledge. Very good knowledge. Knowledge that the only time you could ever use that as an impressive friend, I don't know what kind of friend you're impressing, but someone, or if you're on Jeopardy. That would be hilarious if someone was asked this question for some game show thing, and they learned from this channel, and then they won whatever their game show they're on because of this episode. Interesting. All right, Conan 12. That'd be 9-2, got 9-4. I don't know why I said this batch was bad. Oh, I see some bad ones up there. I just didn't include them. $8.99. Very expensive. Must be hard to get in a high grade. Conan 11. That'd be 9.6, 9.94. $3.79. So not good. It is what it is. Conan 10. Sometimes I like look at the covers. Not that I don't know what they look like. Sometimes I just like seeing them. That'd be 9.6, got 9.4, $2.99. Yeah. Isn't it Barry Smith? He had a very unique style of drawing Conan. I thought it was good. All right, this is Neal Adams, right? Denny O'Neil, Neal Adams, 1970. This might have come out slightly before the Green Lantern. Bernie Wrightston's art, Neal Adams cover. Challengers and Unknown, 74. I thought it'd be a 9.8. I got a 9.4. $1.99. Let me see. Uh, 9.6. I don't see any reason why it should be a 9.4. I don't know. I'll have to look at the notes. That's a kind of little thing. I don't know, maybe. I mean, I looked at this before and I made a judgment call. There must be like not much of a difference price range for a 9.6. Avengers 54. Isn't this first cameo of Ultron? First appearance of the new Masters of Evil. But this is the first cameo of Ultron on the back. And it says nothing. All right. CGC's falling apart. That'd be 8.0, got an 8.5, $1.99. Avengers 44 was the Origin of Black Widow. Yep. Yeah. Origin of Black Widow, 9.6. That's a good one. I thought it'd be 9.4, so I got 9.6. $9.99. What is this? Avengers 25. Ooh, Doctor Doom cover. Love this cover. Great cover. Maybe we'll have the original art one day when I win the lottery. I thought it'd be a 6.0, got a 5.0. $2.19. That's all I was thinking about. If I had someone just won the lottery and it was like what, $1.3 billion or something, like the highest ever, I always think, first of all, number one, if you do win the lottery, take it as a lump sum. Never take it in pieces, because in pieces you get less, and you're like, or I mean, if you take it in a lump sum, you get less, but if you take it in pieces, you get more, and you're like, oh, that's great. But it's over like 20 something years. Here's what you do: you will make way more money if you just take it all at once and just put it in some index fund. Making like 5 to 10%. You'll make more money. So don't ever take it in pieces. I would definitely get a house. And I'd probably start collecting, like building my own collection of comics. Definitely start with Hulk run. That would be my first one I'd go to. Then a Turtles run. Then what would I do next? I mean, obviously I get the big keys like the Action 1, Detective 27, Fantasy 15, stuff like that. But if I was going for a full run, I would and this is kind of rant time. This is kind of the issue that I have. I feel like the comic companies like DC and Marvel shot themselves in the foot years ago. And it's only gotten worse. You know how many number ones there are of just pick a series, like Spider-Man? How many times do they reboot that series? Oh, Spider-Man 1 all over again. I was just doing a Spider-Man collection, going through it. And they had, in the late, like 1999, they started over with 1 again. And then they did it again after, number 700. But that's a low number, right? That's not that many. I mean, how many times have they started over like Wolverine or Venom or just like anyone? Pick a character. Avengers, always. Even Hulk started all over again. And they don't, and then they turned it into like these legacy numbers because people were getting mad. Like, why do you keep doing number ones? The reason why they do number ones is so they can make a ton of variants and then sell you and get all the hype up. Oh, it's a new number one. And then they, boost the sales because, oh, I got to get number ones. And so they make a million variants. So then the comic shops are like, okay, well, I got to order 100 so I can get this special variant, or 1,000 so I can get this special variant. And so then they order, 200,000 copies just so they can get all the variants. And now you're left with a bunch of number ones. And the problem with that is back in the day, even if you stopped reading a particular series, like I run into customers all the time, where you stop reading a series. Say you stopped reading Spider-Man at, say, number 200. You started in the Silver Age and you went all the way up to the Bronze Age, maybe stop around Bronze, Copper Age or something like that. You stop reading, stop really getting your daily stuff. Maybe you see it here and there and pick up an issue. But if you ever go back and you want to, I want to collect these, I want to get a run, you'll start at number 1. Maybe you have it already or something like that, and you'll work your way up through the entire run. And the run could be at issue number 5,000 by the time you're ready to start collecting. But the fact is, since you stop it and get all these new number ones, it incentivizes those collectors that want to collect the entire run to stop at a certain point. So they'll stop up to 700. They don't continue on because it went into a new thing, and then they're like, I don't want to deal with that anymore. Even though it jumps back to the legacy, so a lot of collectors will stop, or they'll stop at, what was it? When it stopped in 1999, what number is that? It's restarted again at 600. I don't know. I literally just went through the collection. I don't even remember. But whenever it started, 2001, 1999, somewhere around there, it started number 1. I see people collect, and then they stop there. And it's like, why did you randomly pick that? Well, because that's, in their mind, that's when it stops, and it starts all over again, and then it goes into legacy numbers, and it starts over at number 1. They're like, oh, no, let's go back to our numbering system. Oh, let's start with number 1s again, and we'll call them legacy numbers, even though it's number 3. It's actually number 610, and it's dumb. It's dumb. So they shot themselves in the foot because they're now incentivizing people to stop, to separate themselves, not become long-term collectors into the book. They're making them like, oh, it already started over again. I stopped at the original, And I just find that bad for the hobby, which is bad for comics in general, because then it doesn't keep people continuing on, like almost forcing them, like those people that want to be completionists and like, well, I got to get it all. Now it's like, well, it kind of stopped, back in 99. I don't have to do it. Like Hulk. Like, I think, what does it go to? Like 474? I can't remember. I think something like that. Well, that's, if I start with Hulk, that's where I'm going to stop, at 474. I don't really care to get, Hulk 1 from 2008 and then move on up and then get the rest of them. Because, I don't know, for some reason in my mind, that's when the series ended. Because then they started with these ones and it's all over the place. I'm like, I don't want to deal with that stuff. So I think it's really stupid of them to have done that. And I know why they did it, because they wanted money now and they can sell a bunch of number 1s, but I don't know. That's just my take on it. Let me know your take. What is this? Second appearance of Kang or something like that? That'd be 3.5, got 4.0, 155. First appearance of Mortis. Immortus. Isn't that the guy that was in the She-Hulk where he jumped out the window? Dabi and Ado got 6.5. 459. Spider-Man, 86. Here we go. Dabi and Ado got 9.0. Sweet. 529. Also, people ask me what books I should always, like, what's a good investment book, blah, blah. Silver Age Spider-Man. Always good investments. Those are always the best books to get if you don't know what to get. Thought being 8.0 got a 7.0, 549. And that is it. Have a great day.